Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, DSS gives Sowore 1 week to retract false, malicious posts against President Tinubu, plans court action. Jonathan's camp and PDP leaders intensify moves to woo Peter Obi ahead of 2027 elections. And later on the show, Probe uncovers more than 4,000 fingerprint manipulations and nearly 200 AI-driven impersonations in 2025 UTME, as Jake Pele says culpable CBT centers in tech fraud will be closed and owners jailed. Well, I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade, Otitoju and Shola Ojeusi. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. The dynamics preceding the 2027 elections have continued. Now let's begin the conversation. There is no doubt in the fact that the controversial post made by the publisher of Sahara Reporters, Omoyele Sowore, will ruffle feathers and stir reactions. As such, the Department of State Services, DSS, has branded the post criminal and derogatory against the president. In a letter, the DSS issued a week ultimatum to Sowore to retract the post, which has tendencies to incite and heat up the polity. The agency warned the failure to comply with the demand would force it to explore all lawful means to protect national security and public order. All right, gentlemen, let's begin this conversation this way. Help us unpack this situation. Now, what specific part of Omoyele Sowore's post does the DSS consider false and malicious against the president?
Well, I do not speak for the DSS.
Okay.
I speak for myself, and as an Omoluabi myself. I know what is right. I know what is not right. A president or an individual who has not been convicted by any court of law, you can't call that person a criminal. If you will call someone a criminal, it must be because he's been convicted. If he were to defend himself in court, what will you present? We called him a criminal. Besides, as Obasanjo said to a former governor, if you respect your own father, you will not disrespect another person's father. I can tell you today that if my son, in most good schools, private schools, I don't know about public schools now,
okay,
if my son called another person's son in his school a bastard, the school will take action. They will invite me to the office of the school principal. That way, he will have brought shame to me.
Absolutely.
Because he will have, by his action, he will have sent a direct message that I didn't properly train him, or that I didn't train him at all. So there are certain things. We are Africans, we are not Americans. Americans may choose to abuse Trump the way they like. In America, we see men marrying men. We see women marrying women. We see some even marry a horse or a dog. We cannot copy everything Western. As Africans, the Omoluabi ethos must reside in us. So to call such an elderly person, forget even the fact that is the president. As the president is the repository of the respect of our nation, of the honor of our nation.
Absolutely.
So if we insult an old man publicly, it says so much about the kind of person you are and the kind of upbringing that you had. That is one. The DSS, you know, the DSS came, it used to be NSO. It came in the aftermath of the killing of General Murtala Mohammed. The DSS, people are saying, oh, why is the DSS getting involved? Again, Nigerians, rather than probe deep and find out whether the DSS has the power to do what it has done, okay, they will just be asking questions. Oh, it's a personal thing. Oh, they are harassing an individual. But have you looked at the act setting up the DSS? Have you found out whether they are permitted to do what they have done within the law? Without a court order. With what is it that they've done to him?
Why should the DSS say that retract the statement without a court order?
Oh, no, so you don't need a court order.
They don't need a court order.
Look, if you say something bad about how many people who go did Peter Obi, for example, okay, when Peter Obi said Adeyanju should retract his statement, was it based on a court order? I mean, the questions Nigerians ask, some of them are ridiculous. If you libel me, if you slander me, I have the right to even tell you pointedly to your face that, look, pull that thing down. That thing is wrong. I don't need a court order to do that. And there are certain things that people can say that can diminish the office of the president. Yes. Look, let me read some of the... let me read... The provision of protective security for principal officers of government and visiting dignitaries is part of the so let me read. Okay. Subsection 2 of that says detection and prevention from psychological attack and mental torture to complement the immunity clause from prosecution provided by the Constitution to enable him to concentrate on delivering on his mandate. Protection of his image and reputation from being smeared unjustly.
Okay.
Yeah. So they also talk about screening of visitors and gifts to ensure no harmful or embarrassing material is embedded therein. So the point that one is making is that the DSS made a demand to Sowore that he should withdraw his post. I don't think that what they've done is extraordinary. I don't think it is wrong. Section 3 of the NSA Act empowers the service to detect and prevent all threats to internal security of Nigeria. It also gives the service the omnibus powers to carry out other tasks that the president may assign to it. This is, I'm not going to stop here. I want him to.
Okay.
Then I will still quote part of the law that directly mandates the DSS to do what it has done.
I mean, Shola,
yes,
it's so good to have you here.
I think Big K is on track. Sometimes I wonder, when we are journalists, Sowore is a journalist, and then we want to understand.
Not by training.
Well, not by training, I understand. Maybe that's one of the reasons. It brings a lot of bolekaja tendencies to the profession. And sometimes our elders say, when a man grows old, he stops going to war. There are times when you have to draw a line. And also understand that every word, every statement has a lot of meaning. The DSS, in fact, let's look at it beyond physical attack. Because if you brand the father of the nation a criminal, you are branding the nation of Nigeria as a nation of criminals. We are trying to rebrand Nigeria. The president has been traveling around the world. We want to change perceptions about the country. We want people to see us in different lights. And the president goes out and you know, for God's sake, Sahara Reporters, the platform of Sowore, I mean, has a lot of followership. It's well known, not only in Nigeria, but outside. Absolutely. Then when the owner of such a platform now comes out with such blatant pronouncing about the leader, the father of the nation, it means a lot.
But now that he's insisting that he will not retract that statement,
you know, sometimes...
I mean, what charges is the DSS likely to pursue?
Well, within their right, let me tell you, DSS, I think, are looking beyond even the mere rhetorics. Because, remember, in the US, Trump was shot during campaign. It was an escalation of all the words, all the statements, all the, you know, rigmaroles around that election that got somebody crazy and then felt it could end the debate by ending the life of one of the candidates. That's why I said whatever statement or word you use can ignite war. And part of the responsibilities of the DSS is to make sure that there is no such thing in the country. I mean, we are approaching 2027. Somebody can begin to have the impression that, okay, this man is a criminal. And my way of showing that I dislike that is to do something to harm the man. It's possible. So you have to forestall that. And somebody with such powerful voice in the country has to be cautioned. If he's not ready to retract, then maybe legal terms. I mean,
I've heard all sort of arguments, BK. Some will say, oh, Section 39, freedom of expression. But they forget Section 45. That says that there are limits to your freedom of expression.
Yes.
How do you react to this, BK?
I want people, because we do not just argue blindly. Let's let people get hold of the law. What does the law say? Under SSS instrument number 1 of 29th May 1999, signed by General Abdulsalami Abubakar, the DSS has the power to take the action that they have taken against Sowore. I mean, it's easy. I can be fact-checked. Even while on air now, fact-check me.
Okay.
It was Abdulsalami Abubakar that signed that act, empowering the DSS. So the people saying, oh, he's a private citizen, therefore, look at the other guy, look at one apparently deranged individual who posted a video or a picture of the president.
The vegetative state.
And claimed that he had died. So if we don't take action against such a person, what would we be saying about ourselves? That we have clearly run mad, that people can do what they like, people can trample on the law. You have no right to brand a person whom you have no evidence of criminal conviction in court, a criminal. And these days, people just, you libel people, you slander people, what you just say, okay, it can go to court. Come on. Sometimes people can take their own lives based on bullying on social media.
Sure.
These things happen. Even people get bullied in school. Children get bullied in school and they take their lives. So there should be consequences for certain actions.
For every action.
And I don't think telling Sowore to even pull down a post. We see people pull down. So you lie against an individual, you discover it, you pull it down. It happens. This is not how to use the social media. And in any case, what the president was saying, they took what he said out of context.
Yeah, we're still going to talk about that.
Because I've watched it. There is a program that I watch on AIT where that matter was even. It was saying that, look, in the foreign exchange, in the management of our foreign exchange market, that there's no longer corruption. That you don't need to reach out to the CBN governor before you have it's not even Dangote said that. It's not the only person to say that. He wasn't saying that corruption had been banished in our country. I know he was referring to
the
corruption in the management of the foreign exchange market. How can a president who permitted the probing of the NNPCL, a president who permitted the DSS, I mean the EFCC, to probe a minister,
yes,
that he removed from office, and the DSS, the EFCC told me, the EFCC chairman, by which is somehow told me that they uncovered so many things. A president who permitted the probe of a former CBN governor, who built 750 duplexes, as if he has two lifetimes to spend the money that he was amassing. That kind of president can never say that there is no corruption in our country anymore. But he's saying that in the management of the foreign exchange market, that there's no corruption. Maybe, as far as it's concerned, at least it's not evident anymore, and people testify to that. You don't take what somebody said out of context and then twist it.
Run with it.
Yes. From that context, what is
how did
criminal?
He now move
Where
to
did he
criminal?
get the word criminal?
How did he just move straight to
you know,
criminal?
that's what asks one when you feel, well, for political reasons and also for the issue of, okay, you want the world to just see you saying something about. You don't just bring up blanket statements without the legal basis for it. I begin to wonder where the president he was talking about is actually, because the nation knows we have a president that's never been convicted of any crime.
Yes.
And that's why we have him there as president. So where did the word criminal come from?
I don't
You
know.
just make
Just
statements,
came out of nowhere.
you don't weigh the impact of such statements on the soul of the country. You know, it's so befuddles the mind, and we have to learn to be responsible. You know, journalism has a lot of responsibility to save the nation.
You think it's high time we criminalize defamation?
No.
There should be stronger...
People feel they can go scot-free.
Yes.
We have suffered a lot of... Even, you know, personally, there are certain little things that you may feel you can just mention. I remember sometimes ago, there was something, God blessed me with something, but somebody blew it out of proportion. And that thing still affects me today because the way it was done, I knew the way I felt, even getting to the level of being depressed at that particular time. And it was done by a fellow journalist just reporting something that didn't really happen. Because I had the fortune of publishing a book.
Okay.
And, I mean, when you publish and it was a successful launch, and then people started putting up all sorts of phones about something, not only was I attacked, there were certain things that happened that you begin to wonder, where did this story come from? Because it was a public launch, but somebody out of whatever just mentioned that I even got something, some 500 SEL Mercedes-Benz. You know, there are certain things you don't do.
If you've ever been defamed,
yes,
you know how it feels.
So I think we have to bring responsible journalism to the fore of our business, of our profession. And the essence of retraining people, even those who we see as the main force. We see a lot of things happening today on national TV. You know, people claiming to be these, aggrandizing, behaving as if they are lawyers, I mean, putting people on the spot, and then saying things you're not supposed to say to somebody who graciously agreed to come and talk on your platform.
Yes.
You can't do that and turn people,
It's not journalism.
the platform to inquisition. It's a place where you exchange ideas. You don't see them as enemy. You don't create enmity around such people. Because somebody has left the station and shot dead by a deranged fellow.
Yes.
Around the world. You know, we know what happens to people when they give their opinion. So you have to know how to moderate. We are the moderators, and we should be seen as responsible moderators. That's the kind of thing one will tell.
And it has even gone beyond, it's not even politics.
No,
it's not journalism. Then what do we even call it?
So now, what the DSS is saying is that it will take action within the ambit of the law as an agency that respects the rule of law. And it took the first step to demand that Sowore withdraw the post as a responsible person, and demand that X and Facebook take down the post as well. You see, there is limit to freedom.
True.
What Sowore, if Sowore were born and raised in Rwanda, I swear to God.
Can you do that to Paul Kagame?
He will not do that. He will not do that.
I think we should also say something.
He will not do that.
We should say something.
People say all kinds of things about our country. But the freedoms people enjoy in our country, they don't even enjoy it in the West.
We should...
In the so-called, because, okay, now some of the things that you benefit from without having to pay, people come here, they just enjoy it. So we are saying that, look, at every point, people must, especially people who are above 50, they must act their age. And if you are above 50 and you fail to act your age, that means you are just an over-age student union leader. You must act your age. People, it comes with, age comes with a high sense of responsibility. Yeah, there are things that you don't say. Too. No matter, you must be able to also moderate your anger.
Absolutely.
The things that people say publicly, age should be able to temper such things. So say, no, how will people view what I've said? You know? How will people view what I've said? And the point has to be made that, look, we can't destroy our institutions. You already said the Lord, oh, the DSS, they are incompetent, this and that, because, yes, we have security issues. Do they not have security issues in America?
It's everywhere, school shootings and all.
Yes. So are you going to say that the CIA and FBI, globally respected agencies, that they are grossly incompetent? The DSS lately was praised by even the Americans.
Exactly.
Because of the breakthrough.
That's where I was going.
Yes, because of the breakthrough with the Mahmoud Awas.
We have to also praise the DSS here, because in those days of NSO, SS,
all right, gentlemen,
we know what they used to do. They will arrest you before they
they will arrest you and lock you up.
Them saying they want to go to court.
You see, that's why under the military, for example, would Sowore. We are seeing them now getting more and more, even the Yellow Water. You know, where they killed the people. They've also arrested people and arraigned them. They are doing a lot of that. And you come and say, oh, they are incompetent. Are they incompetent? Are they the only security? If they keep people in Borno State, for example, would you blame the DSS alone?
No.
Okay, look, in terms of intelligence gathering capability, who is better than the Israelis?
Not at all.
Did Hamas not kill hundreds of people the other day? So, I don't know. I don't understand.
All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, the conversation continues. Okay, all right, let's move straight to our next conversation. Now, the dynamics preceding the 2027 elections have continued to gain traction. As part of this, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is striving to form a formidable opposition against the ruling